All right, welcome back to House of Prep. My name's Jerry. Hey, it's good to see you guys. Look, I made it past our first big snowstorm of 2022. Did I get the year right? Is that right? Sometimes we're still putting 21, right? We fill things out. But it got cold and there was lots of ice on the road. It was snowy. It's a little echoey in here. I'm in the garage. I've got a story to tell you. Some of you are like, oh Lord, what happened to Jerry now? That's all right, we'll get through it. So, when it gets super cold outside, and I think it dropped single digits overnight where I'm at here, just outside of Nashville here in Tennessee. And the temperatures, really dropped, especially with the wind chill that got very cold. And, typically at night, we run a little bit of water through the faucets. We drip the water, right? And that's how you're supposed to do. Keeps a little bit of the water flowing through the pipes. We don't really have any exterior pipes. The way the house is up, there's a crawl space underneath and the water comes in from under the house. The vents are closed around the crawl space so that, the cold air is not just pumping in. So typically, it's pretty decent already. But just for precautionary purposes, out of habit, you normally drip some water overnight. So this particular night, though, we forgot before, and we've never had problems. You don't want to forget. You just want to be safe. Better be safe than sorry. But we forgot on this particular night. I think this was on Thursday night. This past Thursday night, we forgot. And so normally it would probably still be okay. However, somehow our garage door over here in front of me to my left, the garage door was open when I got up early Friday morning and I came into the garage and the garage door was wide open. Now there were no footprints in the snow. It was about 7 inches of snow is what we got, and couldn't build a snowman like a real snowman. Unfortunately, it wasn't packing real well, just a small one. But somehow it came open. No, none of us, we went for a walk during the snow on Thursday evening. Garage was closed. We used the front door. We never even opened the garage the whole day. Never even touched it. Never came back in the garage. So I have no idea how it opened up. So that's just something I got to keep an eye on to see if it repeats the process. But luckily, no intruders, nobody broke in, nothing like that. But because it was so cold, this whole garage became the outside air. I mean, yeah, you open up your garage door, it's going to be the same air that's out there. Single digits in the garage. So when I first woke up Friday morning, went to brush my teeth, a little bit of water was coming out, and I brushed my teeth, and all of a sudden it just goes away. And I'm like, oh no, our pipes are frozen. And at that time, I didn't know where or how. And I'm just like, oh, I forgot to drip water and I can't believe it. And then that's when I discovered the open garage. So what took place is these pipes, and it could have been these other ones here. There's a little switch right there that's to shut the water off to the house. So I believe this whole pipe had become frozen. Now I did have to, it was icy out and snow. I did have to go into work for just a little bit. About halfway through, I decided I probably shouldn't have done that. It was pretty slick. Not a lot of people were out on the road. And I figured that if we do this again, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna stay home. So while I was gone for a few hours, my wife had a hairdryer and she was trying to, work on these pipes. She was out here for a good half hour and no go. So they were frozen. So I was super, super fortunate. I just happened to think, let me text my neighbor. We try to help each other out. We kind of watch each other's property and, we're just good neighbors to each other. And I was like, hey man, I said, I got some frozen pipes. I said, do you have any ideas? We're trying to use a hairdryer. I'm just trying to think, is there something else that I should be considering? And he said, man, I got it's one of those, it's a Mr. Heater, it's a bullet heater, it's a propane heater, like a big propane heater. one that you plug in and you hook it to, to the electrical outlet, and you put one of your big, like the grill size propane tanks. Was that like a 15-pounder or whatever that is? So, and I had the extension cord. I've got the propane because I'm House of Prep. I've got plenty of propane here. But man, I hadn't used one of these heaters. Normally, it's the space heaters. This one was a bullet heater. It was big, and it had the blower that was blowing air, and it's a bullet heater. And I tell you what, I brought that in here. Like I said, super simple. If I remember, I'll see if I can find one in Amazon, and I'll put it in the video description down below. And that way you can look at it. If I had it here, I'd show you, but I was trying to be a good neighbor. Look, you know how those neighbors are, right? That they borrow something and you don't see it again for a year. And then they're out there using it and you're like, hey, can I borrow my tool? So I was very, very considerate of getting that back as soon as I didn't need it anymore. And I got it back right where it was. And so I was just, wasn't even thinking about making a video at the time. So got the propane hooked to it, had it plugged to the wall, and I have a roll cart that I brought in so I could bring it pretty close to this entire area right here. So I had it like down right around here. So it was getting that hot air directly being blown up here. Had that bad boy on and it was cranking, it was heating up the garage, but it took about 40 to 45 minutes of just constant heat. And we were inside and we had some faucets on. So we're like, let's see if this thing works. And I'm gonna be honest, after a while, I'm thinking, I wonder if it's something else. I said, maybe it's something else going on that I don't know of. Maybe a different location somewhere I'm not thinking or I don't know to look. And lo and behold, all of a sudden the water starts coming out in the little increments, and then it just starts flowing. And I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. So it worked. It took about 40, 45 minutes of direct propane heat, just cranking on it wherever it was frozen. It could have been up into the walls at that point too. So that might have been what took a little longer, was because it was so cold in here that there was more than just what was exposed. It might have been further in. So we got it. We got the blockage and it's fixed, nothing burst. We had no problems with that. So I just wanted to share that story for this 8-minute video, just to show you that little things can happen. We talk about life's curveballs. Didn't plan on that. You have an accident, you forgot to do one thing, and then the perfect storm, like that happened. The garage door at the same time we forgot to drip water, and then the whole perfect storm came together and boom, there we go. No showers for Jerry. But I've had a shower since then, don't worry. So I'm clean, I'm not gonna knock people out. I can be out in public with no fear. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. That's just something, a thought. And like I said, I told my neighbor, I said, man, I need to get one of those blower heaters. That thing was phenomenal. It was awesome. And he says, man, don't just borrow mine anytime you want. So I may take him up on that. So you all, hope you're all having a great week. I hope those that have been going through the snow are staying warm and safe, and stay safe on those roads, because I tell you, even if you don't see it, sometimes there's ice under that snow. And you're coming up onto a stop or coming up fast on somebody, and you're gonna be in trouble when you go to hit those brakes. So drive safe out there. Keep your house locked up safe and warm. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.